if you're not sure, when most men see these Coast Guard boats, like that over there, they're thinking, boy, that'd be my next fishing boat. Then their wife comes along and she says, how about this one? I came here today to tour the USS Silversides, but I made a separate video on that and I'll link it in the description. While I'm here, on the second day of spring 2026, it was so nice out I decided to walk to 3 lighthouses and look at Muskegon Lake and Channel. Come along and see a few unique houses, lighthouses, and a memorial to the fallen submarines of World War II. The USS Coast Guard Cutter McLean was docked here, and you could tour it with your purchase of a Silversides ticket. It was decided it was too far gone and recently taken away to be dismantled. I always like touring that boat. Makes me sad that history is lost. The dock over there is flipped right over. That must be an interesting place to hang out in that 3rd floor. The view would be looking down the channel, elevated. This house is cool. They've got an angle looking down the channel and an angle looking across the lake at the state park and an angle looking across the lake to the other side. I don't know if this is a dock structure, but it looks very old, what's left of it. Very simple lighthouse. Across the channel is the state park in Muskegon, and you can possibly see a porta-john type of outbuilding there. Pit toilet, I guess is what I'm trying to say. There's a few sites out over there. I stayed at one once. That pretty good view across the lake. No trees blocking your view or anything. Just missed a spectacular landing by the swan. More of a crash landing, I'd say. He's swimming away from me. He doesn't like me. Well, I don't like him either. If I got near him, he'd probably hiss at me. had no idea the state park was redoing the shoreline over there. My wife and I walked that when we camped there, and it was in horrible shape. So she's going to be excited to find out about that. Maybe I'll see if she watches my video. That's how she'll find out. The old lighthouse. The first lighthouse in Muskegon was built in 1851 on the shore of the channel. 4 years later, it was replaced by a lightkeeper's house with a wooden structure on top of the light. A new house pictured here was built in 1870 at the end of Beach Street near the channel. This replaced the previous structure. The following year, a square steel lighthouse was built at the south breakwater of Muskegon Channel. In 1903, this south breakwater light was decommissioned and another light was built on the south pier. The south pier head light is cast iron and conical or cone shaped. The top of the south pier head light has a parapet or protective wall. I don't know if I said that right. And a lantern room which holds the original 4th order Fresnel lens of the Muskegon lighthouses. Today, 2 small light structures stand at the end of both breakwaters that extend out into Lake Michigan from the Muskegon Channel. The lightkeeper's residence was again remodeled in 1895. The oil used to fuel the lighthouse was kept in storage. The storage shed that can be seen along the fence. There should be a duck popping up here somewhere. That's a long time to hold your breath. There he is. Didn't realize they had a little covered shelter here. I don't know why I never walked down this far ever. Wow, this is a list of the active sawmills on Muskegon Lake in 1884. 42 of them. Obviously, I don't want to go through that gate. No public parking. Gift shop. For whom? Lights tickets sold here. I did not know you could climb that light. Closed for the season. Opening Saturday, May 24th. Private tours can be arranged by calling. Yeah. Apparently you can tour the lighthouse and buy gifts in season. No public parking. Government facility, no public parking. Towing U.S. property. That's on that side of the fence. Can you walk here or not? I don't know. You must be able to. There's kind of a stripe where it looks like a sidewalk, but it's not really clear. You're supposed to be able to walk here. A lot of buoy markers. Now I'm feeling like I'm gonna get arrested. They do have an EV charger though, brand new. I don't know, can I be here? Yeah, I think so. I see some public signs up ahead. Lake Michigan Field Station. Definitely some older wood. They don't do that anymore. You just nail it with some plywood made out of sawdust and chips. This is still the weirdest graffiti, that you would pull tar out of the crack and write words. What do you wash your hands with? Or do you just eat your lunch? There's some different anchors laying here. That looks like it was a train wheel made into an anchor. U.S. Coast Guard. It's interesting. Cement blocks. But the more fascinating thing, if you know anything about Muskegon, there's scrap metal just sitting here and no one's taking it. That's impressive. Okay, now the wind's picking up and I almost lost my favorite hat. Oh, that would have been bad. I might have had to dive in, and then the convenient thing about that is the Coast Guard is right here. They could have rescued me, I think. It's a chance I was willing to take. Just walking past this lighthouse, and I happen to see on this little side section the Tyvek. It's copper. It's actually a sheet of copper. And it's still on there, mostly, other than where they tore the siding off. During World War II, 16,000 men on 263 submarines made 1,736 war patrols. The submarine service sank 1,178 merchant vessels and 214 naval vessels. While this submarine service represented only 1.6% of naval personnel, they accounted for 55% of Japanese vessels destroyed. They were also credited with rescuing several downed naval aviators. This amazing impact on the victory in the Pacific came at a high price. 52 submarines and over 3,600 men were lost. 1 in 5 submarines were lost. Represented the highest mortality rate of any branch of the service during World War II. It is important to note that every man was a volunteer. We shall never forget that it was our submarines that held the lines against the enemy while our fleets replaced losses and repaired wounds. Admiral Chester W. Nimitz, Fleet Admiral.